Right now at 5, a pro-Israel march in our nation's capital drawing a massive crowd. People from across the country and right here in Connecticut gathered earlier today in Washington.
And they are coming together for what's believed to be the biggest U.S. demonstration since the October 7th attack by Hamas that caused widespread destruction in Israel. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Audrey Russo joins us now with more on their message. Audrey.
Well, the message was clear. Demonstrators demanded Hamas safely release Israeli hostages still being held in Gaza.
Bring them home. Bring them home.
The March for Israel bringing together Jewish organizations and pro-Israel allies. The National Mall providing a stage for the message demonstrators wanted the world to hear.
The people of Israel are eternal, and no one will break us.
Everyone in the area is stepping up, and it's a personal connection to Israel that most of us have.
Taking part in the gathering, the Jewish Federation of Greater Hartford. Russ Benblatt, the vice president of marketing, says 260 local demonstrators made the trip to D.C., packed into 4 buses.
There's a lot going on in the world, a lot going on in the Middle East, and with this rally happening, we felt we needed to bring the biggest contingent possible.
The October 7th attack from Hamas bringing to a head years of Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It resulted in mass casualties in Israel, with the Israeli Defense Forces returning attacks in Gaza. Stateside, the Department of Homeland Security says Jewish, Muslim, and Arab American communities are seeing an increase in violent threats. An unfortunate commonality amid the division that demonstrators noted.
Palestinians should also understand it's a fight for them as well.
The Department of Homeland Security designated today's march a level 1 security threat, the highest possible level in determining the resources needed to keep people safe. The march appears to have been mostly peaceful, with no reports of violence surfacing. Live in studio, Audrey Russo, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.